Hello, my dear listeners, and welcome to Crossroad Quality. Today I felt inspired by a theme that really was very important and stood out in almost my entire love life. And that was about breaking up relationships that were stagnant, things not moving forward. And maybe one that brought the most pain into my life was when the separation was really difficult and undesirable. And I often ask myself this question: will we get back together? What I can do? What is in my power to make this possible? And here am I, inspired by that, and deciding to help you in that moment of your life if you're facing such, and ask together with you and ask the cards to help us and guide us into these answers. So the question today is, will we get back together? Now I have 3 different tarot decks that you can choose from. Okay, that will be group 1, the Tarot of the Seeker with a little belt, and this will be the Heaven and Earth Tarot with the angel with a clear quartz crystal, and that will be the Rider White Tarot circular edition with the crystal tree with citrine and rose quartz and agate. So now you take a moment and pause to choose your deck, or you can choose one of the symbols above it. Now let me just remind you that will be group 1, group 2, group 3. I would just tell you a little bit more about these 3 different decks, what you can expect from them, so maybe that can help you make your choice. The Tarot of the Seeker is the deck which goes very deep into psychology and inner patterns. If you choose this group, expect insights about emotional maturity, attachment dynamics, and what is happening beneath the surface. This is less about fantasy and more about self-awareness. If you choose the Heaven and Earth Tarot with the angel, this is a deck which connects spiritual lesson with the real life action. If you choose this group, expect guidance about alignment, growth, and what this connection is teaching you. This is about integration, how heaven meets earth. And if you choose the Rider White circular edition, this is a traditional tarot system. If you choose this group, expect clearer answers about feeling, intentions, and likely outcomes. This is direct, structured, and rooted in classic tarot meaning. So take a moment and check which deck, which group is yours, and we can begin. So for each deck, I will be choosing 7 cards. 7 cards that will be representing your current energy, that is your current energy towards them, that is their current energy towards you, the real reason it ended or got stuck, the main block you are experiencing, and the reason why you're not reuniting. Here will be the bridge that actually reconnects you, the likely outcome in the near term, and your therapy message, and the next best action. So also I will be taking an oracle card for you from the love oracles or from the love tarot. That would be depending on the moment when I reach the end and see what is there for you. Okay, let's begin. So let's see, what is your energy towards them? Oh, you're having the Four of Stones or Four of Pentacles. In the general tarot, the Four of Pentacles reversed. What it means is that you're losing your grip. Four of Stones upright is holding on. Reverse means the hold is weakening. You're tired of protecting your heart the same way. You may be releasing control. You may be emotionally exhausted from holding everything together, or you're finally considering letting go. It's not a coldness that you feel, it is fatigue. You likely held on longer than you should have. You tried to stabilize this relationship. You felt responsible for keeping it intact and guarded yourself, but still stayed attached. The reverse meaning of the card is showing that something is shifting. You're either releasing the attachment or losing the strength to keep holding. That distinction matters. There is a psychological pattern here which the Four of Stones often shows, especially the reversed. Attachment anxiety mixed with pride, trying to control emotional outcomes, clinging to stability even when unhappy. Were you unhappy in this relationship? Now your nervous system may be saying, I cannot keep holding like this. This is not weakness, it is awareness. This card also suggests that you are not in the same emotional position as before. If they return, you will not accept the old dynamic easily. Reunion is possible, but not under the same terms. You're shifting from I must keep this to if it returns, it must feel safe. That changes the power of dynamics. Now there is a little bit of a therapy here for you, therapeutic message, which is important. Ask yourself, were you holding that relationship? Or were you holding the fear of being without it? The reverse Four of Stones invites you to examine, what are you actually afraid of losing? The person or the identity of being chosen? The important warning for you here is if you release from exhaustion, not from clarity, you may be vulnerable to crumbs. Make sure your release is conscious, not reactive. So let's see what is their energy towards you. Oh, their energy is the Page of Swords. Sorry, the Son of Swords is actually representing the Knight of Swords in the traditional tarot, not the page. The daughter of the Swords represents the page. So the moment here we have upright the Knight of Swords. Well, I have a very good news about you. Actually, I have a very good news that I need to give you, is they are thinking about you actively. This is not a passive nostalgia. This is a cognitive engagement. They may be replaying conversation, analyzing what went wrong, listen to messages, reading the WhatsApp messages or any other communication that you have. They may be planning what to say, wanting to clear something up, feeling an urge to communicate with you. This card does not stay still. The important here, the Son of the Swords or the Knight of Swords, is not emotionally vulnerable. It is mentally intensive. This may feel to you like they are very logical, justified, explanatory. They're fast talking, or they're even confrontational. They may want clarity more than closeness. Will we get back together? This card strongly suggests communication is likely, sudden messages possible, conversation initiated by them is also possible. But here is the key: communication does not equal a reconciliation. The Son of Swords or the Knight of Swords can reconnect mentally, but not necessarily emotionally. So there is something of a big distinguish here, that it's a very active person, very logical, very analytical, but very emotionally distant. That person that's the reason why they may avoid emotional depth. They feel safer in debate than vulnerability. They approach with pride, want to fix it intellectually. They may return with, I've been thinking rather than I've been feeling. That difference matters. So your energy, the Four of Stones reversed, and you're losing your emotional hold, and them feeling with the Knight of Swords upright, mentally activated and thinking of an approach, thinking actively about you. This dynamic shows that you're calming and they are accelerating. That can create friction. If they move too fast, you may feel, I'm not in that place anymore. So there is a therapeutic guidance here for you. If contact happens, do not rush, do not argue, do not defend. Just slow it down. Ask emotional questions, not logical ones, because they're the logical ones. You want to get out of them some more emotions. If they stay in the mind, reunite with emotions. You cannot reunite from the mind. It will be very unstable. You need to involve the emotions. Now, let's see what's coming up next. Let's see what is the real reason this ended or got stuck. Do you see this clearly? The sun is right in my face, but you have the Two of Cups reversed. The Two of Cups upright is meaning mutual emotional exchange, balance and affection, emotional reciprocity, genuine partnership. But when it is reversed, as in this case, it means emotional imbalance, one-sided investment, misalignment in feelings, broken emotional agreement. The connection between you was not equal. The relationship did not collapse because of one dramatic event. It weakened over time because the emotional flow was not equal. So the real reason it got stuck, one of you was giving more. One of you was feeling more. One of you was emotionally available at a different level. This is not about lack of attraction. It is about lack of symmetry. Two of Cups reverse often shows different love language, different readiness level, different depth capacity. Someone wanted more emotional merging. The other could not meet that depth. Combined with your previous cards, the Four of Stones, you towards them, loosening attachment, and the Son of Swords, upright mental activation from their side, this card explains why the relationship likely shifted into mental connection without emotional repair. or emotional dependency without true reciprocity. It may have started strong but drifted into imbalance. What is the psychological pattern here? Let's dive a little deeper. The Two of Cups reversed often reflects anxious and avoidant pairing, emotional mismatch, one partner regulating the other. There was attraction, but emotional safety was inconsistent. That erodes intimacy over time, my dear listeners. So for reconciliation, this card says reunion is possible only if emotional equality changes. If the emotional dynamic remains unequal, you will repeat the same outcome. This is not a no card. It is not like before card. It is a not like before card. So what is the therapeutic message for you? Ask yourself honestly, were you loving them? Or were you hoping they would become who you needed? The Two of Cups reversed ask you, do you want them or do you want the idea of balanced love? Because they are not the same thing. Okay, now let's look at what is the main block to reunion now. The main block to reunion now. Oh, the Hanged Man, upright. So the Hanged Man upright represents suspension, waiting, stalemate, a respective shift required, sacrifice of the ego, letting go of control. The block is not hatred. It is not a third party, it is not absence of feeling, it is stagnation. Someone is stuck in the pause button. What does this practically mean? The reunion is blocked because one or both of you are waiting for the other to move. Someone refuses to shift perspective. Pride has not been surrendered. I think both of you have a different sort of pride that you do not want to surrender. A new viewpoint is required before action. The Hanged Man says no movement until awareness changes. So, combined with the previous card, the Hanged Man saying there is no shift in perspective yet. This is important. You are emotionally softening. They are mentally active, but neither of you has fundamentally changed the emotional dynamic yet. So this is the block. Let's see what is the psychological layer. The Hanged Man often shows the ego resistance, pride from both of the sides, fear of admitting fault, avoidance of vulnerability. Remember, vulnerability is the true foundation of real love. It also represents, the Hanged Man represents the passive waiting, the martyr mentally. Someone is thinking, I'll move when they move. That keeps everything frozen. So let's see, what is the reunion probability impact of this? This card delays. It does not cancel. It just says reunion requires surrender of pride. If that surrender does not happen, time stretches. Ask yourself this: what perspective have I refused to consider? Where was I rigid in my story? The Hanged Man invites you to pause, reflect, and then shift. It is not a call for action, but it is very important, because if there is any actions you want to trigger, you need to do this first: the pause, the reflection, and the shift. Now let's see what is the important warning here. If you rush this connection now without perspective shift, you re-enter imbalance. This card says growth first, movement second. You need to grow first. You need to understand. You need to be aware of what happened there. It's looking so far to me, there is a lot of emotional imbalance, there is a lot of mental activation, the perspective not yet shifted. This is complex but not hopeless. Now let's see what is the bridge. What reconnects you? Ooh, the Two of Stones or the Two of Pentacles are reversed. So the Two of Pentacles reversed. Let's see first, what is the direct meaning? The upright card says, it's actually the card of judgment, prioritizing, the balancing responsibilities, the managing two different energies. You see them here. The reverse, it shows overwhelm, dropping the judging, making a clear decision, inability to sustain double focus. The bridge is this: someone must stop judging. What this means for your reunion? Reconnections happens only if one person chooses clearly. Divided attention ends. Mixed signals stop. Emotional multitasking ends. This can mean choosing the relationship fully, ending third-party distractions, because there might be a third-party distraction as well. Stopping the maybe energy, committing, or releasing. Right now, the energy soul shows instability. The bridge is the decision. Combined with the hangman, the block, which is the stuck perspective, the Two of Pentacles reverse shows a clear choice. Translation: until someone from you, the two of you, decides firmly, this stays suspended. The relationship will likely die slowly because no one made a clear decision. It was half in, half out. So the psychological pattern here shows fear of commitment, fear of losing options, emotional indecision, keeping backup plans. If they return while still judging, it will fail again. Reunion requires stability, not emotional chaos. The therapy message for you, my dear listeners, ask yourself this: if they come back today, would they choose you fully, or would you still feel like an option? And more importantly, would you choose them fully, or are you also undecided? Sometimes both people juggle. Let's see, how is this reunion probability shift with this card? This card says reunion is possible, but only after a decisive action. If indecision continues, the connection fades naturally. So for you, my group one, so far you're showing emotionally imbalance caused by this separation. You're losing grip. They're mentally activated and the perspective shifted. The perspective shift is actually needed here, and decision is required. This is becoming very structured so far. Let's see what is the next position for you. And this is the likely near-term outcome. Let's see what card is there. Oh, the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands upright. This card actually have a very clear meaning. The meaning, it's victory, recognition, public validation, the ego boost, success after struggle. This is the likely near-term outcome for you. It is the card of being seen and acknowledged. It is not necessarily deep intimacy. It is triumph energy. What this means for you and your question, will we get back together? This card suggests there is a likely moment of recognition or a reconciliation energy. Someone will feel validated. There may be a comeback moment. Pride softens enough for contact. But here is the nuance. 6 of Wands is about winning, not necessarily healing. Combined with the previous cards, this card suggests there is a high chance of a reconnection or at least contact. But the first wave may feel like someone proving something, someone wanting acknowledgement, someone wanting to win back. This can look like reunion, but it may not yet be emotional repair, your psychological layer here. So a 6 of Wands can mean also that they want validation, they want to feel chosen, they want to restore image, and they want confirmation they still matter. It can also mean you regain your confidence and stop chasing, which ironically makes them approach. Is the yes? It leans towards yes. Contact and recognition likely, but is it stable long term? That depends on whether the emotional imbalance is corrected, whether the judging stops, whether ego gives way to vulnerability. 6 of Wands is successful energy, but it is public victory, not private intimacy. So this is very important. There is a warning here for you. If reunion happens and feels triumphant, intense, ego-driven, slow it down. Ask yourself, are we celebrating a return or are we repairing a pattern? Your guidance therapeutically here, your task if this happens, do not confuse validation with love. Ask for emotional consistency. Ask for clear commitment, stability. If they only want to feel admired again, the imbalance repeats. So in the near term, very likely communication, very likely recognition, possible reunion attempt, but deep down there, you still need to earn the deep emotional connection. It's not there yet. Now let's look at the final position. Final position is the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords upright. Let's look at this energy here. What does the 5 of Swords represent? It represents winning, but winning at a cost. There is a conflict and battles of the egos, the power struggle, saying things you cannot take back, victory that feels empty. This is not a peaceful card. It is a warning about how you fight and what you fight for. So this is actually your therapeutic message, your best next action. The lesson here for you is do not try to win this person. Do not try to prove you were right. Do not re-enter in the connection to restore your pride. If reunion turns into debating who hurt who, scoring points, continuing with the arguments, you did this first, you've hurt me with this, that reunion will collapse again. The 5 of Swords says, if someone must lose for someone else to win, the relationship loses. Remember that if someone must lose for someone else to win, the relationship loses. Combine the whole spread. Now let's remember your energy towards them. You are losing attachment. They towards you, they have this mental activation and likely desire to contact and thinking actively about you. The reason of the block was the emotional imbalance, and the block, what was really blocking is the stalled perspective, the Hanged Man. What is the bridge? The Two of Pentacles reverse, which was the decision is required. Someone needs to choose the other, clearly. And the outcome was the Six of Wands. Recognition, possible comeback. The therapy, your direction is the ego conflict warning. This is very clear. There is a strong potential for contact, recognition, possible reunion at times, but the biggest danger is ego. If either of you tries to win the argument, prove moral superiority, re-enter to restore your image, it will end in resentment, my dear listeners. Dear psychological truth about this whole reading is that connection shows a lot of pride issue, a lot of defensiveness and arguments. I'll show you energy. Hurt masked as sharp words. The Five of Swords says, you can be right or you can be close. Rarely both. Your best next action, if they contact, stay calm. Do not escalate. Do not react to provocation. Refuse power games. Ask for mature conversation. If you feel triggered, pause before responding, my dear listeners. Silence is stronger than sarcasm. I understand sarcasm. I've used it a lot, and every single time I did, I've always regretted. Do not go into that. Silence is stronger than sarcasm. Will you get back together? High probability of contact, yes. And temporary reconciliation, yes. Long-term stability depends entirely on emotional equality, clear decision, and the ego surrender. Without that, this becomes reunion followed by repeat conflict. Now, my dear listeners, I promised to give you one love oracle, last card to finish this reading, and I will pull that card for you right now. Just focus with me. Stay with me here for a moment and just focus. What is the love oracle wants to say to you? Okay, what is it? I do appreciate everything you've been giving me the whole time. Do you know what is that? It is surrendering of the ego. When you show appreciation, you stop thinking of, oh, what have I done? Why I haven't been recognized enough? Why did I say this? You surrender your ego. Appreciation surrenders the ego. It is very important for your reading today. Remember, pride was one of the main blockages of your connection, and here showing appreciation is you surrendering that ego part of you. So here is the message for you, my dear listeners, and that's the end for group 1, and I hope you got your answers. Thank you. Hello group 2, here are your Heaven and Earth card, and I'm going to start now with the same alignment, 7 cards as with group 1. Now I want you to focus with me here. Take a moment, take a deep breath, and let's see what's going to come up for you. You've chosen this deck in this group for a reason. Just I'm going to pull the 7 cards together right now, and then later on I'm going to explain as I open each card what does it mean. Okay, that would be your energy towards them. That would be their energy towards you. The reason this connection ended. What is the block for that conciliation? What is blocking it? What is the bridge that can make this connection possible? What is the outcome? And what is your therapeutic message, advice, or direction? Okay, so here we are. We have all the 7 cards with us. Let's see. What is the number 1? Wow, you have the Knight of Pentacles, your energy towards them. The Knight of Pentacles is maybe one of the most solid men card I've ever had. Actually represents, like when I have this reading for a man in my life, usually it says, I like this man. I like to be around this energy. But this time is your energy towards them. And what it means, the Knight of Pentacles is steady, loyal, patient. He's slow and committed, practical, reliable. Your energy towards them is not chaotic at all. It is very stable. That's why I like that energy so much. You're not rushing. You're not dramatic. You're not playing games. You are grounded. You may feel willing to rebuild slowly, open to reconciliation if it's real. Focus on long-term stability, not passion spikes. You're you're not so reactive as you were before. You've learned, you're matured. You're not chasing, but you're not closed either. Your psychological layer here, the Knight of Pentacles, reflects commitment mindset, desire for reliability, wanting something solid, not tolerating inconsistency anymore. This suggests if they return with chaos, you will not engage. If they return with effort, you may consider it. So your reunion implications here, your energy supports reconciliation, but only if it is practical, if it is consistent, it is stable, it is not impulsive. It's not at all cost. It's conditional. You're not in fantasy mode. You are in evaluation mode. What is the shadow possibility? Be careful of staying too long out of a habit here. Waiting indefinitely. Accepting breadcrumbs because at least it is stable. Knight of Pentacles can sometimes tolerate a lot of things, and sluggishness and slows and stagnation. Make sure the patience is strength, not fear of change. So for you, my group 2, your energy is very grounded and stable. I like your energy. You're very open and cautious. You're willing to work, but you do not want to chase either. You're very different from group 1's dynamic. Now, let's see what is their energy towards you. Their energy towards you is the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands. Let's see, what does it mean for you? Okay, 9 of Wands, right. Let's look at this card a little bit. It's the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Their energy is guarded. They're wounded, defensive. They're tired. They're still standing though, and expecting more conflicts from you. They're expecting more conflicts. Their energy towards you is not indifferent, it is cautious. They're not emotionally open. They're protecting themselves here now. This person likely feels hurt, defensive, suspicious, tired of the cycle, afraid of being hurt again. But they're not fully closed. 9 of Wands is I'm exhausted, but I'm still here. That matters. Combined with your energy, a very stable, steady, grounded person, they're guarded, defensive. This dynamic shows that you are ready for slow rebuilding. They are still bracing for impact. There is interest, but also fear, a lot of fear. Reunion probability impact. Let's think about that. This card does not cancel the reunion. It says reunion will require patience. They will test you consistently. They will not open immediately. They may push away before softening to you. If you rush them, they retreat. If you stay steady, they may slowly lower the walls. What is the psychological pattern here? This is a trauma protected energy. I want you to understand that they act here out of trauma that was reignited, most probably from before, and they expect arguments, disappointments, assume things will go wrong. They stay half defensive even in calm moments. That relationship likely had emotional wear and tear. They're not over that. Do not interpret their cautious action at the moment or the lack of love. But also do not romanticize their wounds as well. You're not responsible for fixing their emotional armor. If they feel this way, there is different ways for them, different routes for them to go and help themselves. It's not your responsibility. That is a warning for you. You are stable and grounded, and they're guarded and tired. This connection is not explosive. It is very fragile. And now we can just look into the real reason it got stuck or it ended. Oh, the strength reversed. The strength reversed. Let's go into the meaning of the card when it is upright. Upright means emotional resilience and patience and compassion and gentle power and controlled passion. Reverse, it shows emotional insecurity. Also pride, a lack of patience, power, imbalance, ego reaction, fear masked as control. This relationship did not end because of lack of feelings. It weakened because someone lost emotional regulation. The strength reverse indicates that one partner felt emotionally overwhelmed. One partner tried to dominate instead of understand. The pride blocked vulnerability, and one or both reacted from ego instead of softness. It might have been power struggles, emotional volatility, the passive aggression behavior, hurt that was never processed. Combined with the 9 of Wands, this makes sense. They are guarded because strength was lost before. And strength reversed often reflects the insecure attachment style, fear of not being enough, overcompensating with control, emotional reaction instead of calm responses. Someone could not stay centered during a conflict. The bond weakened because emotional maturity collapsed under pressure. Your combined dynamics so far. You steady and grounded, they're defensive and wounded, and your the reason for your connection severing is the emotional insecurity. This shows the relationship likely suffered from emotional instability, not from lack of love. There was a lack of inner regulation. The reunion for you is possible only if that strength becomes upright, which means you need emotional maturity and patience. Patience because this person suffered from trauma. They need healing. You cannot give them that, but you can be patient and understanding. You can have calm conversation. You can remove the ego of that equation, and you can soften the power instead of the dominance. If insecurity remains, the reunion becomes another power struggle. We don't want that. The therapy message for you: ask yourself, were you calm when they were reactive? Or did you both lose balance? The strength reverse invites you to stay emotionally grounded. Do not react to provocation. It's lead with calm, not with reaction. If you bring steadiness, their guard may lower. So let's move to the next one. The main block to reunion now. What is the main block to reunion? Oh, this is the Six of Wands. The main block to reunion. So, the direct meaning of this card is victory, recognition, public validation, ego affirmation, wanting to be seen as right. As a block, this means pride, kind of a little bit similar with the group 1. Someone needs to win here. Someone needs acknowledgement. Someone wants to feel superior or validated before moving forward. What this means here? Combined with strength, a reverse, and the Nine of Wands, this connection likely suffered from ego clashes, defensiveness, wanting to be right. Now the block is no one wants to lose face. Someone may think, I'll come back, but only if I feel respected. Or they need to admit they were wrong first. That keeps the reunion stagnant. Your psychological pattern is about this in the Six of Wands is external image over emotional repair. It is more important. The social ego, how do you present yourself in the world, is more important than this connection. Quite immature. What will people think? Competing instead of connecting. This is not emotional maturity. This is identity attachment. This shows a very clear pattern. Both of you may care, but the ego is much louder than vulnerability. So once again, this does not cancel the reunion. It just shows that it can be delayed until someone drops the need to win. Someone reaches out without pride. Someone speaks without the desire to perform. If reunion begins with, see, I was right, it will collapse again. Their message here for you, it's do not compete. Just do not try to prove yourself right. If you stay calm and non-competitive, you destabilize the ego of defensiveness. Six of Wands loses power when no one is playing games. Now let's see, what is the bridge? Oh, the Three of Swords reversed. This card, if upright, would mean heartbreak, pain, betrayal, emotional injury, but the reverse card represents healing, forgiveness, releasing resentment, letting go of emotional wounds. And the bridge is not a passion, the bridge is healing energy. What this means for your reunion: the reconnection happens only if the hurt is acknowledged. You need to acknowledge this man was hurt. It seems like you were in the stronger position in this relationship. This person, your person, was hurt. You need to acknowledge this. You need to process the pain. There is a lot of apology, sincere apologies needed. Emotional responsibility must be taken. This relationship just did not just end from ego. There was real pain there, and that pain must be addressed. I'm sorry for that, but there was a lot of pain there, most probably for both of you. But that pain cannot just dissipate. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be acknowledged. It is very clear. Drop the ego. Address the pain. Repair with honesty. Not flirtation, not pride, not proving, just healing. Most probably there is a lot of suppressed grief, avoidant emotional conversation. Some of you pretend that things were fine or minimizing the wound. The bridge requires one person saying, I'm sorry, I hurt you, or I was hurt, without any blame, just to state it out loud and clear. This is the doorway. The reunion probability for you, this card increases the reconciliation potential if emotional honesty occurs. Without emotional repair, this connection remains fragile. With healing, it can stabilize. A little therapy guidance here for you. Do not bypass the pain to get back together. If reunion happens without discussing the wounds, it becomes temporary. If you have to, just go to therapy. Are we repairing or just reuniting? There is a difference. So now let's see what is in the next position for you. Likely near outcome, the Hermit. The likely near outcome. This is not a reunion card. This is a reflection card. The Hermit represents solitude, inner searching, withdrawal, and deep reflection. It also represents emotional introspection. It is self-guided healing. It is necessary. Near outcomes suggest space. I think both of you and your other person needs space. No drama, no facing each other at the moment, and no fast reconciliation. They need pause. You also need pause, even you may not admit it yet. In the near future, one or both of you are pulling back. There is silence, there is introspection, there is processing. This is not necessarily permanent separation, but it is not immediate reunion either. Now let's go through all the cards. You, stable, they, guarded. Strength here, reversed introspection, 6 of Wands, pride, win, 3 of Swords, reversed, healing, and the Hermit reflection requires reflection before any action, space, pause. This suggests reunion is not happening quickly. Growth must happen first. The Hermit says healing requires distance. What is your psychological meaning? The Hermit upright indicates that someone realized their own contribution to the breakup. Someone needs time alone to rebuild emotional strength. Someone turning inwards instead of outwards. This can be healthy. It can also feel lonely, but it is, as I mentioned, very necessary. In the short term, probability for reconciliation very low. Long term possible if that introspection happens, if the responsibility is taken, if the pain is acknowledged. The Hermit does not say never, it says not until understanding matures. What is your therapy message here? Do not chase silence. Do not interpret distance as rejection. The Hermit invites you here to strengthen yourself, clarify your standards, heal your own patterns. The reunion happens only after the reflection and the pause happens. Now let's see what is the therapy message for you. It is the Tower reversed. Oh, dear friends, what is your best next action? The therapy message for you, the Tower reversed. It's a very strong message. Now let's look at the Tower upright. It means sudden disruption, shock, breakdown. The truth, big truth is revealed when it is upright. Structural collapse, when it is reversed, means avoiding necessary change. Fear of disruption, slow internal breakdown, delayed but inevitable truth, trying to hold something unstable together. This is not an explosive energy. It's the opposite of the one which is upright. It is suppressed truth. The message is clear. Stop trying to prevent the collapse. Allow it. If something is in this connection was structurally unstable, you cannot rebuild it on denial. The Tower reverse asks, what truth are you avoiding because it feels uncomfortable? Are you hoping things will quietly repair themselves? They will not. Real healing requires honest confrontation. Combined with the Hermit and other cards, the Tower reversed says stop resisting necessary change. This means before reunion there must be internal demolition of old patterns. If you try to reunite without structural change, it will collapse again, more painfully the second time. Tower reversed often shows you the fear of letting go, fear of big change, avoiding difficult conversation, minimizing serious issues. You may be thinking, if we just move slowly, it will fix itself. It won't. Either the foundation strengthens or it fails. Will you get back together? Near terms? No, not immediately. There is a reflection, healing, and structural change required. Long-term possible, but only if. Pride and ego dissolves, the hurt is addressed, the pain is acknowledged, the emotional regulation improves, the real change happens internally. This group is not about the quick reunion, it is about rebuilding from truth, my dear listeners. Do not fear collapse, fear a repetition. If this connection returns, it must return on a new foundation. Otherwise, let it fall properly. Your energy group 2 is very slower, deeper, and more karmic. And I want to now give you also another message from the Love Oracles. Please focus here with me and see what is going to say the Love Oracle. What is the message here for you from the Love Oracle? Love is still there deep down our hearts, but we should definitely spend more time together. How shall we see this in the whole perspective of this situation? All I can say to you, how I see this, as I mentioned earlier, there was no lack of feelings in this connection. There was a lot of trauma from the past. There was you who are very stable, but there was a lot of trauma with that other person of yours. There was a lot of insecurity. There was a lot of ego. And there is a lot of pain. There was a lot of pain, but there was never lack of emotion and lack of love there. Deep down there in your hearts, you want to spend more time together. Healing will happen with this. But my dear friends, this will be possible only if you acknowledge all the things. You can be together, you can continue being together, and you can heal, but you need a new foundation. A new foundation based on all these cards. This is a beautiful message that there is love deep down there in your hearts, and you should definitely spend more time together on a new foundation. After you heal, after the pain is acknowledged, after there is no more hurt, or the hurt is being given a space to heal. Okay, this is the message for you today, group 2. I hope it resonates. Take what resonates and leave what it doesn't. It is a timeless reading. And if you have any questions, please feel free to send a message or to make a comment. I am going to read them. Thank you. Moving forward to group 3. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. Ooh, one card just flew out. Temperance card just flew out. I'm not going to read it this way though, and we're just going to shuffle the card a little bit. And during the time of shuffling, I just want you to focus on this connection you want more clarity about. And let's see what's gonna come up there. I just want you to focus, because very soon I'm going to start pull the cards, and it's very important that your connection is here with me and stays with me. Okay, here we go. Now, as in the other 2 groups, I'm going to be pulling 7 cards. And here it is, the first card for you. It's your energy towards them. The second card is their energy towards you. The third card is the reason for this separation, of course. The fourth one is the block. Why this is not happening, the connection between the two of you. The fifth card is what will bridge your connection. What is the outcome of this? And the message, therapeutic message for you, or advice and guidance, is the last one here. All right. Let's see what is there, starting with the first one, your energy towards them. Ooh, you have the Knight of Swords. Oh, my dear listener, this Knight of Swords shows the energy of urgency. Your energy is mentally intense, physical urgency, direct communication. You are very impulsive. You want the clarity right now, acting before fully processing. That is you towards them. Your energy is super active. You're not passive, you're not calm. You want movement. You want it now. You want it fast. You may feel very restless, frustrated with the silence, wanting answer, wanting confrontation, wanting closure, reconnection. Fast now. This is a head first energy. You're thinking a lot, possibly overthinking. You may be ready to send a message. Your psychological pattern shows here that you're anxiety driven. You need control through communication. If I just talk to them, I can fix it. That's what you're thinking. You're so fearful of the uncertainty. This is not a soft energy. Energy can be very sharp. The reunion implications because of your energy. it increases the chances of contact because you're very intense, but it also increases the risk of rushing, escalating, triggering conflicts, saying too much. If you move impulsively, you could destabilize the situation. The shadow warning here for you is if you approach from intensity, they may withdraw, they may just go back, they may defend. Speed is not always strength, my friend. So far for you, your energy is so fast, direct, and impatient, and seeking clarity. It's very volatile. Let's see, what is their energy towards you? Oh, their energy towards you, the devil. The devil in the Rider-Waite circular edition means obsession, attachment, sexual chemistry, control, addiction to the connection, unhealthy bonds, fear of losing power. If you call them right now, they may just accept the call and you may end up in bed. It is that kind of connection. It is intense. This energy towards you is not neutral. It is very magnetic. It is very heavy. It is difficult to ignore. They likely feel very strong attraction and intense pull and desire towards you, possessiveness, curiosity mixed with control. But here is the important part. The devil is attachment, not necessarily love. It is craving, compulsion. It is difficulty to let go. You, being the Knight of Swords, wanting fast, direct, impulsive answers. Right now, the devil, magnetic, intense touch. This is volatile, my dear friends. So volatile. It can easily turn into heated communication, passionate recognition, dramatic conflict, sexual pull, on and off cycle. This is chemistry, not stability. Our psychological layer here, the devil often reflects trauma bonds, power dynamic, emotional dependency, fear-based attachment, ego entanglement. They may not want to lose control over the connection. They may feel you are mine even if they don't say it. Reunion probability impact for you. High probability of reconnection energy, very highly magnetic pull. But the question here is it healthy? The devil suggests if you reunite without awareness, you repeat the cycle intensely. Your warning here is this connection may feel irresistible, but ask yourself, is it love? Is it attachment? Is it connection or is it chemistry mixed with control? The devil can bring people back together, but often for unfinished lessons. Your therapy message here. Do not act purely from impulse. Your Knight of Swords energy combined with their devil energy can create chaos. Pause before messaging. Pause before escalating. Intensity does not equal compatibility here. You are the most emotionally charged group so far. Very emotionally charged. Now let's see what is in the position 3. The real reason it ended or got stuck. The Empress. Let's see how the beautiful Empress, which represents nurturing, abundance, fertility, emotional generosity and self-worth, sensuality, motherly energy, actually become the reason for you to break up. As the reason it ended, this suggests imbalance around giving and receiving, the value in the emotional nurturing and the self-worth. So what likely happened in a connection when you are the Knight of Swords and very intense, and they're the devil with attachment and obsessions and the sexual intensity and chemistry. The Empress shows that one person may have overgiven, one person may have expected to be nurtured, or someone's self-worth become entangled in the relationship. This relationship may have felt addictive, very sensual, deeply physical and emotionally consuming, but possibly not balanced. What is the psychological pattern behind this connection here? The Empress in this position shows that over-nurturing pattern dynamic shows, the parent-child emotional dynamic shows, one partner taking more than giving, attachment based on validation. It can also show jealousy or possessiveness if third-party energy was involved. Was it? Sometimes the Empress appears when someone felt unappreciated or someone felt taken for granted. Combined with the Devil means intense physical chemistry, emotional dependency, attachment mixed with validation, and the possessive nurturing, wanting to own someone who nurtures you. It is powerful, but it can become unhealthy if boundaries collapse. Okay, the reunion implication. This connection has strong magnetic attraction, but the real issue was value imbalance. Someone may have felt, I give more or I am not valued. Unless that changes, the pattern repeats. Ask yourself this question. Did you love them? Or did you love feeling needed? Did they love you, or did they love how you made them feel? The Empress asks you, where is your self-worth when you are alone? Because if self-worth depends on this bond, the Devil energy will control it. Now I'm going to repeat this because it is extremely important. Where is your self-worth when you are alone? If your self-worth depends on the bond, the Devil will control it. So now, group 3. This is the most karmic feeling group so far that I've come across. Let's see what is the main block to reunion. The world. The world. The world represents, my dear friends, completion, closure, cycle ending, graduation, fulfillment, moving on. And as the position in the block, this means that one chapter may already be complete. What this means for you? This connection may have served its purpose already, completed the karmic lesson, reached its natural ending. The block is not pride, not ego, not fear. It is completion. Someone may internally feel this cycle is finished. Combined with what we already have, the Knight of Swords, you wanting movement, Devil attached, the Empress, imbalance of value, the block, the world cycle is complete. This is powerful. This is a strong attachment, strong attraction, but the growth lesson may already be done. That creates tension. You want movement. They feel magnetized. But the universe energy says this chapter may be closing. The world often shows emotional graduation, realization you deserve more, outgrowing a dynamic, in completing a karmic lesson. It is completion. The block could be one of you has grown beyond the old dynamic. If you reunite, it cannot be the same relationship. It would have to be entirely new. And how is this possible? What is the reunion probability impact here? Because we are asking this question. This card reduces probability of traditional reunion. It suggests if reunion happens, it will be very different. If not, this is the true closure. The world is not about half measures here. It is about finality of transformation. Your therapy message. please ask yourself, please stay with this and ask yourself, are you trying to restart something that has already fulfilled its lesson? Sometimes intense connections are not meant to last. They're meant to transform you. If you cling, the devil dynamic intensifies. If you release, you evolve. Group 3, you are very karmic and potentially final. Now, let's see if we have a bridge, if any. The star. You have very powerful cards here. A lot of cards from the major arcans. 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th card from the major arcans. It's very powerful reading for you, and it is very, very interesting indeed. The star represents healing and hope and renewal and authentic vulnerability and spiritual alignment and very soft, beautiful energy after chaos. This is not passion, it's purity. Combined with the world energy, which shows completion, the star as a bridge shows healing and authentic reset. Translation here: the only way back is through total emotional reset. Not intensity, not obsession, not sexual magnetism, not ego. Healing. The star says if reunion happens, it must be transparent, gentle, spiritually honest. This is crucial. Now, look the energy of the devil and the Empress. The devil energy is attachment, the Empress nurturing and balance, the world completion, the star spiritual renewal. This suggests the relationship ended because it was too intense and imbalanced. If it returns, it must return softer, more honest, more aware, less possessive and less reactive. What is the psychological layer here? The star requires you to drop control and drop the ego, admit vulnerability and be honest when it comes to apology, honest emotional exposure. Without that, the world remains the final chapter. With this, it means that the connection, the reconciliation may become something healthier. What is your reunion probability shift here? This card reopens the possibility. This one was a completion, but beautiful completion. And this opens up again an opportunity for you to reconcile. Both of you must, however, heal the attachment pattern. If one returns still operating from the devil energy, the star cannot stabilize. Your therapy message here for you. Can you love this person without intensity? Can you connect without control? Can you release obsession and choose hope instead? If yes, there is a bridge. If not, the world closes it. Now, group 3. You have potential rebirth through the healing. Now, let's see position 6, which is the likely near-term outcome. I cannot believe this. Seriously, another major arcane, like all of your reading is, apart from the first one here, is with the major arcane cards. It's just so powerful, such a powerful reading. So, the Hierophant represents commitment. It represents traditional relationship structure in the formal union, moral alignment, shared values, spiritual lesson, doing things properly. This is not a casual card. None of your cards are casual. You had such a powerful card. I'm actually feeling excited about you. This is an institutional energy combined with this funnily, my battery just died on me, and I got so excited about the Hierophant energy. So I just wanted to say, I'm not sure if this got recorded, so I'm going to just repeat what I meant here. The Hierophant represents a commitment, and it represents the traditional relationship structure. It's a formal union, moral alignment, shared values, spiritual lesson. It's doing things properly. It is not a casual card, and nothing of your reading has been casual. You only have, apart from the first energy, which is representing you, all of your other cards are from the Major Arcana. So I'm just really baffled of this. Very, very powerful reading, and I'm excited for you because it is powerful. It also suggests that you are very capable, and there is a lot of high potential. It is a lot of meaning, a lot of energy, a lot of truth for you in this connection. And it is very important for you to realize one thing: if healing occurs, this connection can evolve into something more serious than before, but only if it transforms. So all the relationship comes in our life to heal us, but this is not an ordinary connection. This is very powerful connection for you. You go through all these layers of depth and meaning between the two of you, and it's so deep, and it's so transformational. It's so powerful. Okay, what this means for your reunion. This card strongly leans towards reunion with structure, not feeling, not passion, not secret intensity. If this comes back, it comes back with definition, public, committed, spiritually serious. The Hierophant does not play games. And your psychological interpretation here, the lesson of this connection is maturing attachment. The devil energy is raw desire. The Hierophant energy is discipline, devotion. If you both move from attachment to alignment, this reunion becomes stable and so powerful. If not, the world remains final. Important warning for you here. The Hierophant can also represent external expectation, family influence, social norms, religious or cultural pressure. Ask yourself this question: is this connection aligned with your values or just your chemistry? Because chemistry alone does not sustain Hierophant energy. Near-term likelihood, this card increases the probability of serious reconciliation, but it will not happen through impulse. It will happen through honest conversation, clear intention, and structured rebuilding. The therapy message for you here, my dear listeners of Group 3. If this comes back tomorrow, would you want it seriously or just intensely? The Hierophant demands maturity. If you're ready for that, this has very strong potential. Now, let's see the final message for you. You have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, your best next action. It's the following message. So the Queen of Wands, she has a lot of confidence and charisma. She has a lot of self-trust and emotional warmth with boundaries and magnetic independence, knowing your values. I just want to show you something very quickly. While I'm saying this to you, look at what's happening over there. Look at this love over there. Look at these little ones which got caught in the action. It was just beautiful, because I'm actually going through a very powerful message here for you, and reconciliation between the two of you. And I was just observing them there. It just felt like a message for you. There was some message for you in that. So let's go back to the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands showing magnetic independence. She's knowing her value. She does not chase, she attracts. What is the message here for you? Stop pursuing, stand in your power. You come into this reading as a Knight of Swords, urgent, wanting movement. The Queen of Wands now says to you, shift from urgency to sovereignty. When you're confident, you destabilize unhealthy attachments. When you chase, you feed the devil dynamic. Combined with the whole spread here now, this is very powerful. The Queen of Wands is asking you to step into the confident independence. This is very powerful. The only way this becomes stable is if you stop chasing, if you stop proving, if you stop reacting, and instead you become self-assured, attractive, grounded in your value. The psychological truth here is the devil energy weakens when you are not desperate, when you are not reactive, when you are not insecure. The Queen of Wands energy says, I am desirable. I do not compete. If you embody this, they shift from obsession to respect. Will you get back together? Yes, you have strong potential. Actually, you have between all the three groups, you have the strongest potential of this possible, and it is beautiful and so powerful and so learned through different experience. There is a truth and growth through this connection that you have. Strong potential, but let me put the if here because it is important. There is a definite reason why this connection has stopped or is blocked. There is an old cycle truly needs to end, and the healing needs to happen, which is the Star. You step into confidence with the Queen of Wands, and the commitment represents replaces the obsession with the Hierophant. So if you chase, this becomes toxic, intensely toxic again. If you stand strong, this can become serious. There is nothing wrong to want this connection. It is very powerful. I completely understand you. Do not lower yourself down to keep someone. Do not. Raise yourself and see who meets you there. Now you have this very powerful message for you, and I hope you take it on board. I want to give you also, like for all the other two groups, I've given them from the Love and Oracle cards, one card, and this one is the message for you. Please stay with me, connect with me. So let's see what is the message for you here. I want to see what is your message. Let's stay with me and let's see what is the message for you, group 3. I'm so confused about our relationship and occupied with cloudy thoughts. I hope I brought some clarity for you. And I hope the cloudy thoughts that you had has cleared up, because this was the most powerful reading I have had in a long time actually, and I'm so excited about you, group 3. You have such a beautiful reading, and look at all the cards that you have, and despite the fact that you were confused, look at this strong connection and intensity. Look at this major arcans, the World, the Empress, the Devil, the Star, the Hierophant. Look at this, ending with you, starting with this intense energy as the Knight of Swords, and then you finishing with the Queen of Wands, calm, collected through her own powerful energy. This is super powerful, and I wish you all the best and success. Hi, little one. He's coming here to greet you and say, hey, I'm beautiful and I'm strong. Look at them. You are similar, right? Look at all right, my dear group 3, this is your message, and I hope you understand all the messages that I had for you. And just to conclude, for group one, your group one, likely you can reconnect, and the ego conflict risk needs to be overtaken there. Group 2, very slow healing reflection is needed. And group 3, very intense karmic bond and serious potential if transformed. Now, thank you very much. That was become a very long video, but I hope it gave you a lot of clarity. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. And if you want any other readings, please comment and let me know.